So here we have to find first order and second order derivatives of y. So we're going to differentiate both sides with respect to x and get the derivative of x. That's going to be derivative of x plus sine of y equals to derivative of y. So that's going to be derivative of x is going to be just 1, and derivative of sine of y, we're going to use chain rule. So at first we take derivative of sine function, and that's going to be cosine of y, and then multiply by derivative of inner function, which is y, so that's going to be times derivative of y with respect to x. And now we're going to isolate derivative of y with respect to x, so that's going to be just like 1 equals derivative of y, or with respect to x, minus cosine of y times derivative of y with respect to x. And we're gonna factor out derivative of y with respect to x and multiply by 1 minus cosine of y. Therefore, we find first order derivative of y, which is gonna be 1 over 1 minus cosine of y. And now I'm gonna find second order derivative, so we're gonna differentiate our first order derivative. So that's gonna be derivative with respect to x of 1 over 1 minus cosine of y. So here we're gonna use chain rule. So at first we get that that's going to be negative 1 over 1 minus cosine of y squared, and then multiply by derivative of inner function, which is 1 minus cosine of y, and that gives us negative 1 over 1 minus cosine of y squared. And here derivative of 1 is going to be 0, and derivative of negative cosine of y is gonna be, we're gonna use chain rule, so derivative of cosine function is gonna be negative sine, so we have negative times negative, so it's gonna be sine of y, and times derivative of inner function, so it's gonna be derivative of y with respect to x. And now we're gonna substitute first order derivative here to get our second order derivative, and that's going to be negative sine of y times 1 over 1 minus cosine of y, and over 1 minus cosine of y squared. So we put this in the denominator, and the final answer is negative sine of y over 1 minus cosine of y cubed. That's our second order derivative.